So we're going to go down here and look at the river and see what that looks like. There's a nice bridge down here over the river. There's a it's like a fishing or an observation deck that they have kind of out over the river. It's really nice. And they have a reservable picnic area, really nice parking lot, nice path beneath the levee where the water rushes through. It's just a really beautiful area. I'll be there in a couple minutes. Windy day today. How odd for the middle of March. It's Pi Day. It's 3/14. 3/14/25, March the 14th. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is really steep. I know you can't see it on the camera, but you have to have an engine brake in third gear to slide down this thing. But as you can see now, it's really pretty looking. It's beautiful down here. Yeah. A large picnic shelter, so we'll pull over here, get things set up. So this is behind the levee, behind the spillway. You can see the levee up there. You can imagine the amount of work it took to mound that up, to block Caesars Creek, to back it up and make the lake. But you can see this is just a beautiful area right here, and they've got a sidewalk on both sides. You can walk down and see it. It's really impressive. Really, really nice. And we'll get back up the hill there. This is a second, maybe third gear hill because it's pretty steep. Be interested. I'm trying the 360 camera out, kind of like a pole right behind my back, just to see what I can capture, if I can get any good angles with it. I have no idea. I've never tried it before, but if it works out, maybe I'll add some of the footage into the video that I make from this, if there's any good footage to make to make the video out of. We'll find out. Beautiful day. It's about 70. Again, it's March the 14th, and it's windy, but there you have March. Nothing weird about that. But great day to ride, especially after the really brutal January and February we had. It was way colder than normal, and way more snow on the ground than normal until right at 2 weeks ago. It warmed up, melted everything off. It's been particularly sunny the last, 4 or 5 days, and is now, drying everything off. I know we have some rain coming next week, but it's to be expected in March. Okay, so now we're going to go across the top of the levee. See here in a second. I don't know if you call it the spillway on my right hand side or what, but anyway, there's Caesars Creek Lake. Yeah, Caesars Creek, 1975. This was built by the Army Corps of Engineers for Caesars Creek State Park. It covered when the lake backed up, they had to remove all the people in the farming community of New Burlington, Ohio. And, there were some heartrending stories attached to that. People who'd lived there all their life, their family farms had been gone back many generations. But anyway, their property is now on the bottom of the lake. They declared eminent domain and, took their property to make the lake. I know there's a book been written about it, but anyway, this is the flats area for obvious reasons, as you can see. People go out in there and hunt fossils. I don't really know if there's any great fossils to be found out there, but people think there is, and so they go out and look. It's kind of known for that, so maybe there are some fossils out there. Not being a fossil collector, I have no idea. Okay, so here's the CT125 going into the wind with no gear on it and just me weighing 165, and it's struggling to get up to 50 because I'm going into a strong headwind. 8.7 horsepower is 8.7 horsepower. It's all you're going to get. If you have a tailwind and you're going downhill, heck, you'll go almost 65. And then when the road flattens out, you're back down around 50. And it's just the way it is. That's why a lot of people with these little CT125s, they're great. But, they have a what I call a highway capable bike to go with it, and then they carry this one around and they ride it on local roads and about any trail that they want to take it on, because that's what it's designed for. You can't do open road touring on these things because, again, they top out at best 50 to 55, and then when you go up hills, far less. There have been many times when I've been, floored and in third gear and, 35 mile an hour, going uphill. There's been other times when I had the wind at my back downhill and I've been going over 60. But normally you just, as a rule of thumb, you say, well, it'll go 50 miles an hour maximum. Again, downhill more, uphill far less. We'll pull here into Wellman Meadows. When I had my large boat, when the boys were young, this is where we used to launch. It's a nice part of the lake to launch on because it's less crowded than where we're going to go here in a little bit. There's good parking here. The launch ramp is not backed up too much, unless you came here on 4th of July or Labor Day, something like that. A major holiday, then it could get busy. But normally, you either had no line or you had a very brief line. And they have a nice rigging area that you can pull over into. And it's just really pretty. See, this is a road going back to it. They have a nice picnic area up here off to the left, and might be one off to the right also. And boat ramp, road ends in water. Yeah, there's a beautiful hiking trail that goes off to the left here. It goes back to Horseshoe Falls. It's not really that big of falls, but it's really pretty looking. And there's a beautiful creek that runs through there, and the hiking trails are nice. And anyway, here's Wellman Meadows ramp. Yeah, so no line here today. Of course, it's a Friday in the afternoon and the middle of March. So yeah, there's the launching ramp. So you can see why I like it. There's, like I said, ample parking, and the ramp is easy to get to. I think they have, what, 3 docks? Yeah, 3 docks you can launch from, and it just makes it easy. And you're not on the busy part of the lake when you first, get into the water and start heading out. Plus, you get to cross under the bridge that goes over State Route 73, which is fun to do. Cedar Creek Lake, yeah. Yeah, there's the marina, there's a restaurant, they have a boathouse, there's a lake or a pond for the kids to fish in, and then there's the beach is beyond there. We'll ride back there and take a look. There we go, back into the park. Of course, the park's on both sides of State Route 73, which we just got off of. But we'll go back here and take a look at things. So we're going to go back and look at the fishing pond for the kids, which is kind of a neat feature. I think it's handicapped accessible also. It's right over here on my left. And there's also a really nice overlook place. You can see the bridge. Go out there and take a look at that. Emergency authorized vehicles only, yeah. ADV fishing pier. Yeah. Let's go down there. Look at that. Yeah, this is nice. So there's State Route 73 that we just went over. And then here is the fishing pier. And you can get an idea of, the size of the lake as it comes through here. I've never eaten in that restaurant, but maybe someday. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so here's the pond for the kids. And there's kids fishing at the pond for the kids. Nice. They have a little trail that goes by it. And a gazebo. You can just sit in there and get out of the sun or have lunch. That's what you need. We'll swing around and go and overlook the marina. It's not a very big marina. Of course, this isn't a very big lake, but it's nice. They did a good job with it. Swing around through here. There's a lake down there. It's fun to go around these state parks in what's in effect the preseason. People use this pretty much every day of the year, except if it's bitter cold. But the season doesn't really get kicking off until into May. The marina at Caesars Creek. Again, there's the marina and the restaurant and that kind of stuff. So this is the road back to, I wish I knew the name of the boat ramp. It's probably the most popular one on the lake because it's It's always busy. They have the big parking lot back here if people want to store their boats here. I think they have a separate one for sailboats and a different one for power boats. And they, just a few years ago, built I guess it's a kayak launching area, and they're supposed to do some big improvement on it this season. I haven't really seen any signs of anything yet, but it's a nice part of the lake. So we'll drive down and take a look at that. It's down here on the right, and then we'll whiz back past the boat launch area. Yeah, off to the left is the big boat parking lot. No, sorry, it's on down here a little ways. It's down here on the left somewhere. Driveway for it. I wonder if there's any boats in there yet. Yeah, dry storage front. Yeah, there are some in there already. Yeah, a lot of good roads to ride on, except emergency and authorized vehicles only. Spoiled sports. So this is where you bring your kayak or small boat, that you carry. Canoes. There's not very many canoes on this lake. It's a little bit too rough. But this is where you launch it from. And you can see where the debris trail is right there. That's about the normal water line. But they've got the water down really low right now. So that's that. Swing through here. This is why you have a trail 125, so you can do stuff like this. You can whiz along the beach. Yeah, this is normally on the water over here. Cars out here, that's for sure. Ooh, run down through here. The little CT125 just eats this up. This is what it's made for. Do stuff like this. Okay, so we'll go down and we'll check out. Yeah, there's tons of boats here. This is the busiest launch ramp on the lake because you launch right into the main part of the lake, into the widest part of the lake. So you launch for this, you're on the big lake right away, right off of the boat ramp. They have a boat with a crane on it. That must be the Corps of Engineers or Forest Service or something. Well, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. They have 4 boat ramps. We're going to run across 73 and take a look at the other boat ramp that's here. It's really interesting to see. Yeah.